So the Cavs, maybe more than any team selecting in the top 10, really need to nail this draft pick because Colin Sexton seems cool, Cedi Osman seems cool. After that, not a whole lot of young players to be excited about, and even then you can find limitations with those two's games. So this draft, while important for everybody, may be a little bit more important for Cleveland. So now we get to the players. The top 3 is the top 3. We have no idea what the Lakers are going to do at 4. Could draft a guy, could trade the pick. I don't know. So that means someone between either Deandre Hunter or Jarrett Culver or Darius Garland or Kobe White or Cam Reddish, one of those guys we assume is going to be gone. Whether that's from the Lakers selecting them, someone else selecting them, whatever. Someone will have the 4th pick. So after that happens, I think the best thing we can do is just look at the names that are kind of out there. And this is a little different from the Lakers because I think the Lakers, I say that because I just talked about them. They have to place a little bit more of a need on fit because they have LeBron, right? Cavs don't got to worry about that at all. Simply best player. So Deandre Hunter, the thing with Hunter is I think his star potential is not that high. If you draft him, you're looking for the next Danny Green, Andre Iguodala, something like that, right? A guy who you can rely on to defend a few positions, make shots, hopefully do something off the dribble. Hunter did show some improvement with his handle and doing like straight line drives and things like that. So there is a chance his offensive upside is a little higher than just being a spot shooter and a cutter and a finisher. But even so, I wouldn't expect the world from him there. I mean, that's a nice player to have. I don't know if the Cavs should be all out on that. I mean, if they're desperate to get a star, then no. But at the same time, Kevin Love is, 30? And, the injury thing, that is a real fear with him. He missed damn near the entire season. But if he's able to stay healthy, then between him and Colin Sexton, if we hope that Sexton can improve, and we also hope that this organization does an okay job of surrounding those two, I guess if those are the top 2, with, shooting and all that stuff. And Cedi's not a bad shooter right now. So assuming all that is not a disaster, then, yeah, I mean, Deandre could be a nice player to have in that scenario. But again, if you were going for just this dude can one day be the leader of our offense, then Deandre is probably not the pick. And again, one of these guys that I'm mentioning will be off the board, but I don't know who, of course, so I can just got to talk about each dude. Then we get to Jarek Culver. I think Culver does have the potential to be someone who can put up some points. Now, that doesn't mean he looks like a natural scorer. But in terms of dribble moves and pull-up jumpers and mid-rangers and, shooting off of screens and stuff like that, it just seems like Culver has the potential to just be a real offensive option for you, where Deandre cannot. The fear with Culver, though, is his three-point shot, and his handle does still need to improve a bit. And there's a chance that his shot selection is not always the best. So, in a way, you could argue maybe Culver's ceiling is higher than Deandre's, but Deandre's floor is higher. And if you're the Cavs, I mean, I don't know, maybe you just want a guarantee because you just hope to get a good player, especially after, while the Anthony Bennett situation is long gone by now, it does still kind of linger, and maybe you just don't want to repeat that again. Then we get to Darius Garland, who I suggested the Lakers should think about because of some of their needs. If you were to select Garland, it would certainly help you out on offense because he can make shots and all that. But then you would have two small guards who like to have the ball in their hand, Sexton and Garland, and that might just be a little too much negative stuff, right? That fit would be a little weird, but at the same time, to go back to what I've been saying, if you think Darius Garland is by far and away the 4th best player or 5th best player in the draft if you're the Cavs, maybe you just do it anyway. I mean, the Darius Garland, Kevin Love pick and roll could certainly be effective. Then we get to Coby White. Similar to Garland, the big difference being he's a little taller, so maybe there's a chance that you're a little more comfortable with him being an off-ball player for Sexton, especially because Coby is a pretty damn good spot-up three-point shooter. He took 230 threes in college, which I think is intriguing. Shot 35% on those. However, the fear with Coby is he's not a natural playmaker, and we know that Sexton has a lot of work to go on his playmaking, even if he was a little better as the season got to the end. That might be frightening. So yeah, then after that we get to Cam Reddish. He might be the biggest roll of the dice in the draft because he's got all the talent to be among the top 3 picks. But his demeanor and just... he had a lot of Rudy Gay going on. Like 22-year-old Rudy Gay, where it's like, yeah, the dude's talented, but are we actually better when he's on the floor? We don't know. But I mean, somebody's going to draft him, and I mean, maybe he falls to the bottom of the top 10, but I could also see a team like the Cavs being like, you know what? Let's roll the dice a little bit, and if you wanted to go for the ultimate dice roll, it would be Cam Reddish. Because if he can be what we hope he can be in terms of just an awesome shot creator who can play in the pick and roll, play in ISOs, be big enough to post up, and be a pretty solid playmaker, and knock down threes, and be a multi-position defender because he's big as hell, then, I mean, that guy could end up being the second best player in this draft. Anyway, after that, I mean, you're looking at Sekou Demboya, who's really athletic, but we don't know if he's got an actual position, play style, whatever right now. And then Jackson Hayes, who seems like a cool center. I don't know. Based on everything I just said, I have no idea who Cleveland should actually select. But with that being said, I do think